This is a design for a large car parking area with some very interesting detailing and treatment of a swales area through here. It's going to treat runoff water and stormwater effectively. But I'd like to draw your attention to this strip here of what will effectively be painted blocks on the driveway. You may be able to see that there are a couple of colours going on here. Let me just select, I'll use a crossing window, and I'll just select one of these. And you'll notice over in the properties box there are 4 entities in the selection set, 1 hatch pattern and 3 lines. So I want to find out just a little more about the hatch pattern first, so I select them in the same way, and now hold my shift key down and click on the lines that are selected, and that takes them out of the equation. So now the hatch pattern is located, and the hatch pattern has a light grey colour on a layer called DTL Gen F. So we can now erase them. And so the reason that the pattern had that sort of slight bluish tinge to it is that the hatching has been these individual entities, these little lines there. They're all lines. They need to be joined together to make a polyline, but that's what's being hatched. That's where the hatching has been applied. So what I want to do is, we'd like to match what we had before, but remove that bluish outline. So what I will do is I'll gather these together and join them. So we now have a single polyline. Let's put it on the layer that's required, and that layer was A-DTL Gen F. There it is, that one there. And we set its colour to light grey. Here we are, light grey, and set a fill on it. So now we have the same result as we had before. We don't have that blue line around it. What I'm going to do now is quickly turn that into a block. So I select it, I'll create a block, and I'll call it, for want of a better name, I'll just call it step. And as a pick point, I'll pick this point here, and now we have it. So if I now pick it up and copy, I can copy it from there to the end of this line here. I'll do these one at a time, or will I? I might just go to my object snap. I'll turn end point on. So now when I copy using that as a base point, I can snap there, snap there, snap there, there, and there. Now we're done. What would be nice would be to remove the blue lines that are under that area. So if we do our same trick again and select those, this time we'll hold the shift key down and remove the outer one. So that tells us that the lines are on a layer A, DTL thin, and we'd like to remove them, so we'll isolate that layer. So tools, isolate a layer, A-DTL thin, and we'll OK it. Now they're isolated. So these are the ones we want to remove, so we can delete them, and then go back to our layer set and click here, all use layers on, and OK. And now we've made our drawing more efficient because we're using just a block for that, and we've removed that bluish tinge to it, which might or might not interfere with our plotting. So I hope that helps in manipulating the selection set, learning how to change a group of lines that make up a rectangle, turn those into a single polyline, filling it and adjusting the colour of a filled polyline. So we've overcome the need to do any hatching. So the same could be applied, the same technique could be applied to this, which is again a solid hatch pattern Whether we've got a shape under there that we can turn into a polyline is something to investigate. There's nothing wrong with using hatching, but it is often much more efficient to use closed polyline shapes and just apply a fill.